Aspen. So, to be honest, there is no best of John story. It was just a great time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
okay,
I'm your DJ.
John story. So many stories. But just great. It was just great. I cannot choose one. Okay, let's try it with all the Aspens. Yeah, but which one? All were great. Or maybe this time when we jumped around on that roof. Karneval der Kulturen. Very important. The deep session. The Mädcheninternat. Crazy times. Yeah, I really thought about it, but there is not this story again. It was just a good time. Penis. Penis. Tricky presentation.
John, this is for you. There's not a soul out there, no one to hear my prayer. Give me a John after midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a John after midnight. Take me through the darkness to the break of the day.
Action.
So, John, you're using a move action, right? Well, you try to go to Ireland. I hope you get stuck somewhere along the way and you might get back here so we can have some more games. But even if you don't, have some great fun. It was a great time with you here. And as there was a request for some specific text, tracking presentation Aspen and Penis.
Hi, John. A few weeks ago I heard that you would leave Xanox. Unfortunately, we work for more than 5 years together now. So it's sad to see you leaving, but we had a lot of things we have done together on Aspen, in Berlin. But one of the stories will stay for always with me. That's the night we had our sleepover party at Xanox headquarters. In that period there was still the 24-hour service desk available. We couldn't find a hotel which was not that expensive. We didn't want to pay 500 euros for one night. So after a crazy drunk night in Berlin, which we ended I think in AM to PM, we decided to sleep in the Xanox office. I still want to thank you for that you chose the couch and I was able to claim the stretcher. I think you weren't that happy with it, but I really had a good night. That's one of the things which will always stay with me. But there are so many more things, and if I start talking about all of them, I think the movie will get too long. So, John, thank you for all the nice things we did together, for all the meetings we had, all the fun we had, all the drinks we had. Totally all the drinks we had a lot of them together. And all the Aspens, of course, we had together as well. Hey, good luck with your new job, and I hope I will see you after you left Xanox as well. Next to that, Mitun asked me to say a few words to you. I don't know why. I will see it in the final movie. Tracking, presentation, Aspen, and Penis. Hey John, good luck, and
you can just start speaking whenever you want.
You're on record? Okay. John Curran,
met you first time at the slopes of some kind of Polish/Czechoslovakian Aspen trip. And then we were in the baby class because we never did snowboarding before, and we, together with some other guys, we were in the snowboard class. And it was my first time that I met John Curran, and we had a fucking blast, and it was hilarious, awesome. By the way, Ireland? Are you serious? I moved to London. Now you're going to Ireland. Whatever. Anyways, John, all the best. Cheers.
Cool. And then you can say the words.
Yeah. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Ireland, right? That's like weird anyways, right?
I'm still recording you.
Oh! Okay.
Which is completely fine.
What were the words again?
Penis, tracking, presentation,
Okay.
and Aspen.
Okay. Penis. Tracking. Aspen. Presentation. Yeah, because then you can cut it, right?
Yeah.
Tracking, presentation.
I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love. The minute you walk out the door. We go home.
Hi John, how are you? I heard that you're finally leaving Xanox. Woohoo! Good for you. And sad for Xanox. I was asked to do a little video for you to celebrate your performances at Xanox and outside of Xanox. I kind of remember something called Scandi Shore. It's a little bit fuzzy. It looks something like this, perhaps. And I also remember two dudes comparing their penises. I don't know. Very handsome dudes. Good luck to you, John. Xanox will miss you for sure. Good luck with the rest of your life. Bye.
At the bird and the napalm wings and the crazy burn after twice. Picking up Jimmy and Johnny from the animal shelter in Berlin, and the legendary collapse of John at the Kings of Berlin party.
Okay, so good memory about John. It's hard to choose because it was plenty of it, but first thing crossing my mind was the time when I went for some training to Berlin, and we went to the club with no floor. And because I already had some experience, not necessarily good, with John club taste, I told him, mate, do not, I repeat, do not take me to one of your off-kind of clubs when I have to look around to do not get stabbed by someone or cannot find any fine women in the whole club. And what I heard from him, mate, chill, I know what you need. And what I got after a couple of beers, an empty club with no floor, and say no floor, I mean slathered mud. When I went to pee, some hairy, huge guy was looking at me all the time, and because of course there was no floor and no door in the toilet, so yeah, it was quite an experience for me, which I never forget probably. John is still trying to convince me that it was Billy's fault, of course, and it was Billy's idea, but I'm not so sure about it. How I will remember John. For sure as an open and friendly person, because he was one of the first person who came to me during my boot camp. He took us for a beer and toured us around, and I think from the first moment I knew he was a cool mate and hope to see him again in the future. Tracking presentation, Aspen and Penis. In your case, John, pretty tiny. Take care, mate.
Hey John, I know that there are a lot of people who are trying to take credit for me hitting the jackpot, but both of us know that the only reason that Chris and I started dating is this very special moment where you threatened to rape us. So thank you very much and cheers.
So I heard you leaving. It's really sad, as usual when good people are leaving. Then yeah, it's always sad. But you know what we do to people who are leaving? We talk crap about them. So I have a lot of story about John. Do you guys want to know? No, I'm kidding. No, John. It was yeah, great pleasure to meet him, to hang out with him. He was a lot of fun, he's still a lot of fun, and I hope he will always be a lot of fun. So yeah, you know, you're always welcome to Stockholm if ever you want to come visit us. And yeah, I wish you the best for everything, and hope to see you again some days. And now I have someone who wants to talk to you, and yeah.
Movie. Hey buddy, alright, it's time, finally. But I'm not sure you're actually leaving. You know, some people, they need 3-4 times to actually get out of there. So I hope you can do it on the first time. Otherwise, talk to Jasper, maybe he has some tips for you. So, a favorite story. Quite hard because there's so many of them. We've been through a lot. There's been a lot of midgets, there's been Scandi Shore, we had the Ficken in Poland, I wingmanned you a million times probably, but you always dropped the ball. I had sex with your boots, which was quite nice. But in the end, my favorite story about John, it's something that I actually didn't see, it's just something that I heard. And we have to go all the way back to 2010 to Czech Republic. And John is on the dance floor, he finds this really nice girl, he's feeling her up, he thinks everything is done. Just take her to the room. Until Gunnar comes in. Cock block! What a loser you are, John. Jesus Christ. Alright, since there's no better way to say goodbye to you than having a drink, I guess. See you around, buddy.
Hello!
Hi guys, what I'm remember for John is this day in Berlin where we was a birthday party with one of the girls from the Polish team, and he brought something like fake mustaches to me, and so we spent the night about these mustache things and having a great photo with more girls with mustache than men. That's crazy shit. So here are the 3 words: tracking presentation, Aspen and penis. And goodbye John, best for the future, and cheers.
Hi John, so I don't really have any favourite individual stories about you yourself, but there are like a number of little things that always used to make me laugh. For example, number 1, the fact that you've been in Berlin for 4 years and you still get Chris Lunan to give all your guests a guided tour because you don't know anything about where you live. Also, in addition to that, the fact you've been there for 4 years and you can't speak a single word of a language. I think my language is actually better than yours. You're crap at FIFA, embarrassing for any male whatsoever, and you really should be ashamed of yourself. You're also the world's laziest footballer. I've never seen a centre forward stand around and do so little and then moan so much afterwards about how you didn't get any service. I actually think buses through London move quicker than you move on a football pitch. The fact that you claim to be Irish when you're not really Irish, and I'm pretty convinced that's the reason you're moving there, to convince yourself of something that isn't quite true. Yeah, that's another great one. You may be the only 30-plus-year-old male in the Western world to be still playing World of Warcraft. Debatable. I almost forgot one of the really typical John thing to do at work. John would always have the habit of walking over to me, and it would usually start with some kind of fist bump, followed by the words "easy bruv," which I would usually say. Alright. Anyway, John would always ask, like, what's the problem? Like, what are you looking at? And I'd just usually say something, and the conversation would usually go something like this. Oh, Excel? Oh, I know Excel. What do you need? Sure. Okay. Yeah. Let me go get Andrews. Penis. Presentation.
Who's this video all about? John Curran. Is that the Indian guy? No? Ah, the bald one. No, that's Dave. Okay. Ah, John. Yes. John. I do know John. It was definitely a pleasure to meet John in London nearly 6 years ago. No, 5 years ago actually. It was in February 2009, and it was great, especially in the beginning, when I didn't understand any word you said to me. But I think at the first night out, finally I told you that I finally understand you. And this is basically my first and probably my preferred story about John. John, I wish you all the best in Dublin. I'm pretty sure we'll see you again, although in the time here in Berlin we didn't meet that often, basically. Nevertheless, it was a pleasure to meet you. I appreciate the time we spent in London as well as in Berlin, and I'm looking forward to probably visit you then in Dublin, because I haven't been to Dublin yet, so probably another reason to go there and finding out what it's all about in the Irish land there, your old ancestors, as you pretend. Well, anyway, wish you all the best and a safe trip back home to London first, and then good luck in Dublin. See you soon, mate.
Tracking, presentation.
Espen!
Hey John, in a couple of minutes you're actually going to show up here and we're going to have our farewell pizza dinner. And if you remember, we always eat pizza together, and that's one of the stories that I wanted to share, because the first time you showed up at our place was when Bodo was still very little, and the moment the pizza arrived, the little guy started crying, and I don't know, he needed some extra 30 minutes until he finally fell asleep, and during that time you were really cool and relaxed, and I did not have the feeling that I was a bad host, and you were really cool about it, and that's something I'll always remember. And yeah, I think wherever you're going to go, people are also going to see you as a stand-up guy, and where you're going to be, you're going to kick ass. And yeah.
Bye-bye, John. Bye.
And action!
Hi, John. No, John. Old dirty bastard. I have here everything. Yeah, you are old dirty bastard. You're staying in front of our old Eastern European office where our story began. So, I will never forget that you tried to steal my bonus in the middle of Prenzlauer Berg, drunk, running with my computer for Prenzlauer Berg. But I can also tell you, you're the dancing queen and we won the competition against me. So, you're leaving and I don't have anyone I can point at, so this will be the biggest loss ever. And I have my small card with all the things I would like to tell you. So I will miss our talks about exercising, about backup settings at Sanox. I will miss our talks about snakes and about everything. And about Pajak, so don't forget Pajak. I will always remember Pajak in Eastern Europe. And I have something for you, especially for you with my Polish accent, which is trekking presentation, Aspen and penis. Bye bye.
Hey man, this is Alexito, Alejandro, Schroes. John, do you remember that evening in Kreuzberg? You had just found your apartment, had moved in, did not know the area that well, and you wanted to join a friend of mine and me for one beer. We met at Trinkteufel, went to Franken and to some other bars on the way to Milchbar, and I told you about that song on Kreuzberg, Nights Are Long, you know? Does that ring a bell now? 2 or 3 other bars later and some drinks in the Monarch, and finally touched down at the best Kofteburger place at Kotti. You were not really hungry at that time, were you? But well, we had not had dinner by then. So you sank down next to the counter and kept hardly your eyes open. The man showed you the red spicy stuff, you know, bullpepper, the Turkish red pepper spice, and asked you, "Schorf?" You nodded. The good man scattered a fair quantity of that red spicy stuff on your kafte and asked you, "So, oder mehr?" And you nodded again, and I thought that this okay. Your German was already perfect, you know what you want. We ate our kafte burger then in silence, and after you almost finished the thing, you asked me, "Are they always that spicy, man?" Tears ran down your cheeks. No. Listen, ladies, a John never cries. A John never cries. So with no tears but a red face, more red than usually, you Irish-English warhorse, we said goodbye under the train tracks of the U1. You went tottering along Reichenberger Straße, and it took you a while to get home. Reichenberger can be a very long street, and your mouth was burning like hell, and you could not find sleep, and you cursed that night. But I think, for the intention of having just one beer, we had a great night in Kreuzberg. The Craig was mighty. Have great nights and days in Dublin. Have a great new life there. I'm sure you will, and never lose your good mood attitude. John, a big hug from the ninja, Alex.
Hi John, have a great time in Ireland.
I had the unfortunate pleasure of interviewing John when he was applying to Sanox. The first couple of interviews were in a Costa Coffee, which led John to believe that Sanox wasn't even a real company and was quite dodgy. The interviews themselves went pretty normal, pretty fine, except for the moment when John tried to convince me that his skill at coordinating 24-man raids in World of Warcraft were transferable to a role in online marketing. However, despite that,
John, here's to you. And Dublin Shore. Cheers.